This is how to install applications on the Mac. There's two ways you can do it. One is you can go through the Mac App Store. These are apps that are made by Apple and also third-party apps that have been approved by Apple. So that means they've been checked out, they're deemed to be a relatively good quality, and they don't have any nasty stuff. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. This is pretty much familiar if you've already got an iOS device. You can access the Mac App Store from the dock if you have it pinned, or from the Apple menu and then App Store. If you need to get an application that's not in the App Store, you can go to Safari, for example, and search for the application you're after. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and download Google Chrome. Okay, so once that's completed downloading, you can either open the file from Safari itself in the downloads section, or via the dock, or you can go into Finder and Downloads, and you simply just want to double click the DMG. A DMG is a disk image, it's a virtual disk image, so it's basically going to mount a virtual disk that contains a set of files. In this case it contains Google Chrome. So try to imagine it's like you're plugging in a USB flash drive that contains some files, except this is doing it virtually. So now we've mounted that disk image, we've plugged it in, and you can see here we have the Google Chrome app and the shortcut to the applications folder here. Sometimes with certain applications, for example, I'll show you, Transmission is a BitTorrent client, and when you download it, they don't actually give you the shortcut to the applications folder. So this is a good example. If you're really new to the Mac, you might not know where to actually drag the application. So I'll mount Transmission here as well. And you can see Transmission's download, when the DMG is mounted, it's only got the Transmission app. Whereas Google Chrome, Google actually gave us a shortcut to the applications folder. So when you see this sort of scenario here, you can simply just drag the app into the applications folder to install it. And you'll see the progress bar here. And that's pretty much it. In a situation where they don't provide you with a shortcut, you just need to come down here to Finder, open up a new Finder window, browse to your applications folder, and then drag it in. I already have Transmission here, so I'm not going to do that. Now, you'll see that the disk images that we mounted are still here on the desktop, and they'll still also appear in Finder here. So once we're done with them, we need to eject them. And to do that, we simply click and drag them down into the trash to eject. Or we can right click and choose eject. Now, a common mistake that some people end up making is they will drag the application directly from the mounted disk image to the dock. This will work, except for every time you need to open the application, it's going to have to mount the disk image. And if you delete the disk image, then that's a big problem. I'll give you an example. So let me just go into my applications folder here and delete Google Chrome. So we can start fresh with that. So I'll click to mount Google Chrome. So there's the disk image, and now if I drag the application directly from the disk image down to the dock, I get a shortcut. Now I can open that, and that application will work just fine. However, keep in mind the disk image is still mounted at this point. Google is actually smart with this app. They tell you that you're running it from a disk image, and it gives you the option to move it to your main disk, your local disk. In this case, for the example, I'll say don't install. Let me eject the disk image now, and I'm going to go ahead and delete it and empty the trash. And now what will happen is when I go to open Google Chrome, I'll actually get a question mark against my application icon. And that's because we've deleted the disk image in which the application was contained in. So that's why it's important to always drag your applications that you're installing into your local disk, your local applications folder here on your main Mac HD. And that way, you know, when you actually install it here and drag it down into the dock, it's not referencing the application from a disk image. And in case you needed any clarification about how to pin applications to the dock, it's very easy. you can simply go into a Finder window, go to your applications folder, choose the application that you want to pin to the dock, and click, hold, and drag it down into the dock like so. And if you want to remove it, you just need to click and hold and drag off for about 1 or 2 seconds until you see the remove label here. If you do it too quickly, you'll notice that it will not unpin the application from the dock, so you have to give it that 1 or 2 seconds there. Now, if we want to remove an application, it's as simple as just dragging it to the trash. So go into a Finder window, find the application you're wanting to delete, and just drag it down into the trash and empty the trash. And that's it. .apps appear as a singular icon, but they're actually application packages which contain the entire application in themselves. Sometimes you might see applications downloaded in the form of a PKG file, which is a package installer. So I'll give you an example here. The TechTool Pro 9 application is actually an installer, a PKG. I've mounted the TechTool Pro 9 DMG here, and you can see there's a TechTool Pro 9 installer here. And when we look closely on Get Info, you can see that it is a .pkg installer. So this is a more traditional looking installer that you'd see on Windows, for example. So you simply double click it, agree to all the terms, install, enter your admin password, and hit return. And the application installs itself automatically. And you'll notice that by the end of it, it actually does put the .app in your applications folder for you, and Micromat actually automatically pins the app to the dock for you, but not all applications will do that. It really depends on the installer package and what it is going to do. So that's really all there is to know about installing applications and removing them on the Mac, pinning them to the dock, unpinning them from the dock. If you have any questions on this particular video, you can leave a comment below. Feel free to subscribe, and yeah, we'll be back for more videos here on Mac Rescue on YouTube. Thanks for watching.